Hey everyone, I'm Riley and I'm here with Judith and Brenton to talk about two games today. Flappy Bird and Pigeon Wings, which are both mobile games that involve little skill but keep you entertained for hours. Something about repetitive and minimalistic gameplay keeps players pressing replay. These games are so rage-inducing that they have been compared to games such as Mortal Kombat or Doom.
Flappy Bird is a game that took over mobile gaming during the beginning of 2014. The game was created by a Vietnamese developer, Dong Nguyen, published by the Dot Gear Studios, and released in May 2013 on iOS and Android platforms. It nearly took 9 months before it had a sudden rise to fame, earning the creator up to $50,000 per day from downloads and advertisements. The game is an arcade-style video game with an endless randomized level. In terms of aesthetics, the game features, as written by a Rolling Stones reporter, a bug-eyed, big-lipped, bloated bird. This character was designed previously for another game that Nagoyan had been making in 2012, but was cancelled. The objective of the player is to control the bird, allegedly known as Flappy, through green vertical pipes. Each pipe successfully crossed is a point. If you crossed 10 pipes, you received a bronze medal, 20 pipes, silver medal, 30 pipes, gold medal, and 40 pipes, platinum medal. The controls were as simple as tapping the screen. Each tap projects the bird upwards and forward. Although the concept of the game is of a bird flying and avoiding pipes, the character itself does not move through the environment. The level itself is what moves from right to left. In terms of sound design for the game, there is no background music, but there are sounds for the character itself, such as the sound of the bird flapping, the bird crashing, and the point received. According to the statistics from the remake of the game on the flappybird.io website, 95% of players score 6 points or lower, which we can verify from personal experience from playing the game in the past.
The game unfortunately abruptly came to an end when the developer shut it down on February 10, 2014. Nguyen tweeted about deleting the game a day before it was deleted, stating that he cannot take this anymore. In later interviews with Forbes and Rolling Stone, Nguyen states that he felt guilty for the addictive nature of the game and was overwhelmed by the backlash he received from critics and online bloggers calling him a fraud, a conman for making a simple game that made $50,000 a day. He was also accused of stealing Nintendo's art style by these critics. This is referring to the green pipes which resemble the pipes from Nintendo's Mario. Ever since the shutdown of Flappy Bird, the app was removed entirely from both the App and Google Play stores. This resulted on all devices with the game installed to be worth much more money purely for the game itself. Many took advantage of this since it was profitable. The game shutting down also caused many different games to copy the concept and release their versions of the game, which most did gain popularity. Some games include Flappy Royale, Flappy Bird, Flappy 3D, Flappy Reborn, Flappy Returns, and even Flappy Donald Trump. In August 2014, the original creators of the game released their own reboot of the game called Flappy Bird's Family on Amazon Fire TV only. This reboot included a multiplayer mode and numerous different characters. Nguyen also released another game shortly after Flappy Bird called Swing Copters, which employed stricter techniques to avoid the same issues as Flappy Bird.
Flappy Bird was revolutionary in its own way. Its addictive nature introduced new measures that app developers began using in order to avoid Flappy Bird's fate, such as lives and timeouts to prevent continuous play, as well as use of ads to create forced breaks between rounds. Ian Bogost, the writer of the article The Squalid Grace of Flappy Bird, talks about the game and its many frustrations. He says it is simply a game of frustration and loss, and he is very correct in saying that the game doesn't really offer any increase in difficulty. The game is on a repetitive loop where you play the same character on the same screen over and over again. He describes it as a game that wants nothing and expects less. Bogos says that the reason for this is the familiarity of the game, the reassurance that the game will never change or increase in difficulty, giving players a sense of comfort, and that is why they keep going back to it.
Now, if you've played Flappy Bird, you might like Pigeon Wings. Released in August of 2017, Ignacio Schiefelbein designed a hyper-fast racing game with shoot-'em-up qualities. This game is designed with 2D graphics similar to most mobile games. Playing as Pigeon, the protagonist, the objective of the game is to save a fictional city called Megalopolis from the evil antagonist, Duke Dexter. The backstory has a light-hearted and humorous tone that doesn't take a large amount of time explaining what is happening in the game. In short, it's colorful and straightforward. However, once you are in the game, there is a tilt control steering system which makes it complicated even to the skilled gamers. The first few levels are made so it allows the gamer to get comfortable with the controls, and once we learn the tilt control steering, turbo boost, and shooting aspects, the game is proceeded with 50 short levels all designed to take down Duke Dexter's pilots. In the tutorial portion of the game, they teach a player to hold down the bottom left corner of the screen to accelerate and tilt your phone either up or down to control which direction the pigeon goes. Then, to turbo boost, in the game you must get ahead of opponents to activate the boost by tapping the bottom right corner of the screen. This gives the player an advantage over the opponent to win. Finally, when faced with an enemy shooting at Pigeon, you may hold down the screen to rapid fire or tap to give burst shots. Pigeon Wings is also equipped with an endless mode, so as you complete the levels, the player is awarded up to 3 coins that can be exchanged for items like better engines for your plane and just aesthetic.
What the hell? What? I've been shooting it! I've been shooting! Okay, I have a strategy. No, I restarted! I'm screaming at this game, it's so hard.
Despite its fairly simple controls, the racing levels are intentionally challenging. The game happens so fast that a player may not even realize when the landscape rises and falls, which may result in a crash. Because if and when you do, you're forced to restart the level, and it can be frustrating and rage-inducing. Meanwhile, the shoot-'em-up levels, you are required to dodge and strategically shoot down Duke Dexter's aircraft. Along with its chaotic gameplay, the soundtrack of Pigeon Wings is just as fast-paced and intense, which adds to the urgency of the races.
No! I die.
As many other games, Pigeon Wings has also adapted and released a sequel, so to say, called Pigeon Wing Strike. Released in 2019, the objective of the game is similar to Pigeon Wings, minus the racing part. The main storyline for this game is to chase after Duke Dexter's aircraft with Pigeon's friends, Cunningham, the hamster, and Presto, the fish out of the water. With these friends, Pigeon can battle and strike against Dexter's evil plans. Both games share similar qualities strategically and control-wise. The games are designed with 2D graphics so a player does not get easily distracted while aiming and dodging the lasers. Both games are fast-paced and rage-inducing once a level is lost and you have to restart. But overall, we think the game compensates with the fun storyline and the eager-to-win aspect.
So, what do we get from these games? How does such a simple game become such a controversial issue only months later? For one, as Ian Bogost points out in his article, Rage Against the Machine, these types of mobile games are available to players 24/7. It can be played at any time, anywhere, with endless amounts of replays, and it's just enough challenge to keep you wanting to push yourself for a better score. The games are designed to keep you playing over and over again, pushing you to the very edge of your abilities. Flappy Bird was a game that many of us played and many of us probably know far too well. Video games, although entertaining, do have some faults. A game that seems so harmless taught the gaming industry a lesson quoted from Ian Bogost. For no matter how stupid it is to be a game, it is no less stupid to be a man who plays one.